I wouldn't know where to start. So I always thread by eye. If you're one of those that thread by eye, always put your foot down on your machine, because then you've got more space to get your hand in there and more chances of actually threading your needle. So a little small top tip there. Right. Yes, so where were we? Oh yes, scant 1/4 inch. So I'm going to do a back stitch here, and then I'm going to go round, and I'm just going to literally see so you can understand now why we could do all of this on the overlocker, the serger. Just be careful of your corners. And of course the other thing I was going to say was, now that we're doing the outside fabric, as far as I'm concerned this is the outside fabric, so you're not going to leave a turning gap, okay? So it's all the way around with this one. And then if you want to, you can clip into it to make your corners nice and super duper, but I'm not too fussed about that. This is a nice easy project. We don't need to be super neat with this. Well, when I say super neat, it is neat, but we don't need it to be super pedantic. Is that the right word to say? It doesn't need to be like that. Anyway, so there we are. So I've gone all the way around. Got a little hat now for a small-headed something. Perhaps it's an egg cosy for a goose egg, because that would be big enough, wouldn't it? Yeah? Yeah. Right, so I don't know how you guys put up with me. I really don't. Anyway, we're going to have a turning gap here. Now, I would probably, well, I am going to put my turning gap here rather than here, okay? Because this is, although it's not all rounded, you haven't got a big enough space here. So I'm going to start off my seam, do about 1 inch, and then I'm going to leave my gap. So it's a nice big turning gap, because we can. And then you can decide whether you're going to, and always do a back stitch, and then you can decide whether you're going to hand stitch that together with a ladder stitch or something so it's almost invisible, or whether you just run it under the machine and do it that way. It's up to you. A lot of these things I'm assuming you all know how to finish off. Perhaps I make too many assumptions. So all the way around. My stitch length is on about 2.5, which is about right. Generally demonstrating, I use a 3 because it stitches quicker. But I think I've left this on 2.5, so, which is fine, fine. So, cut your threads of your turning gap and your threads from where you started, so it's nice and neat. And then one of these, doesn't matter which, one of them needs to be turned right side out. So we'll do the lining. It matters not. Gosh, isn't that fabric glorious? Oh, I love it. And then you don't have to poke the corners out because this is the lining, and that's going to go back in again the other way. So then what you're going to do, you're going to put one inside the other. Okay, we know that with bag making, surely. One inside the other. So as long as it's right sides together, and then you're just going to match your seams up. Now, for the time being, just because it makes everything easier for you, I would put a couple of clips in, or pins. So we'll definitely be using clips. Let's get these out on my table. Got some very bright clips here. So just line up your seams. It's important to get those fairly straight. Although, to be honest, once you put the channels in, you don't really see them, but it's nice to get things straight. So we'll aim for the middle. We'll keep those ends just open at the moment, but so we'll put clips in the middle. And obviously you can put more clips in, you know, here if you want to. But now we're going to put the channels in. So the first thing we need to do is open up that. And let's just go here so you can see. So I'm going to be careful not to move too much. So you're going to open this up, and then you're going to put one of the channels in. So just use one for the moment. And we'll start from here. So if I show you, we'll show you that way. Oh my gosh, let's get it so you can see. That's better. So we'll start from here and we'll put the channel up against that seam line. So let's get this one in. So I'm going to put it, you see the seam line just there, and I'm just literally going to butt that up to that, and then I'm going to clip it together, and I'm going to clip all of the layers together. Okay, so if I bring the other layer up from, you know, the outside of the bag, let's just, I'm going to do it, but it might go a bit fuzzy just for a little while because that, like I say, that camera is ultra sensitive, and I'm just going to layer those all up. So I want you to have a look. So there's my channel. You can see the stitching there. And there's my two seams, there and there. And I'm just going to sandwich that channel right in there. And I'm going to get a clip and I'm just going to clip it together. And that's going to hold it nicely. I'm not going to worry about the other side. I'm going to start with this one first and I'm going to stitch this one in, and then when I get round to the other seam, that's when I'll put the other channel in. Okay,